Hello, let's do Wordle number 751, and today is the first day of the challenge between myself and Scott, Stroh Solves. So definitely go check out Scott's solve as well to see who won. Let me go over the general rules of the challenge as well as the rules for today's challenge. So in general, the idea is all of these challenges go until we go for the answer. So if I go for the answer and I get the answer correct, even if it violates the challenge rules, no matter what the challenge is, that is fine. I beat the Wordle and I beat the challenge. You can also win the Wordle and fail the challenge. So if I can decide to throw, basically forfeit the challenge so that I don't forfeit the Wordle. And additionally, the way we determine whether myself or Scott won the particular day is first, if one of us got the answer in fewer guesses, then that person wins. But if we get it in the same number of guesses, then we will score the board. The score is calculated as greens on the board are worth 2 points and yellows on the board are worth 1 point. You can choose to or not score the answer, the 5 greens from the answer. It'll wash out between the two scores, assuming we both get the answer. But let's just say the score includes the answer just for simplicity. And the higher score wins. If after all that we have the exact same score, then it is a draw. And hopefully we don't get so many draws that we end up drawing the tournament. But if we do, then we will figure out a tiebreaker at the end, but it's unlikely. All right, so those are the rules of the tournament itself, or the challenge, the overall challenge itself. It's not really a tournament because it's just a challenge between the two of us. Anyway, what is today's challenge? Today's challenge is the alphabet challenge. So each guess we make must be later in the dictionary than the previous guess. So hopefully that's clear. Basically, the guesses have to be alphabetical. So it's not just the first letter of the guess, it's the entire guess needs to be alphabetically later. So I could do 2 words that start with A, for example, as long as the second word is later in the dictionary than the first word. Hopefully that's clear. So that is the challenge. I was thinking about starting words, and one thing that I was very scared of is that is getting a green A, right? So if I started with something like avert, which seems like a pretty good starting word, and that A turns green, then I probably have to fail the challenge unless I can get the Wordle in 2. So what I'm going to try to do is do a very early word in the alphabet to try to avoid that kind of trap. And then we'll go from there. This seems like I'm not sure exactly what strategy is good. So we'll just sort of have to wing it from the first guess. But I did think about the first guess, and I think abort is a good first guess. A, B is unlikely to be later in the alphabet than our answer. And also getting the R and T is nice. O is, of course, any vowel is nice. So that was my idea. And so I'm going to start with abort. Okay, no green A, so we didn't have to worry about that. There's a yellow O. Okay. So now the question is, how much later in the alphabet do we want to go? We know there's no A or B, so maybe we should start with C here. And maybe I don't want to do C-O if I can get away with it. I think cello actually would be good. We know there's no A. So cello is very likely to be earlier in the alphabet than the answer. I don't know about repeating the L at this point. I'm going to think about some other options, but I think cello's in the running. I can't really think what else would be CE and also include an O. CE is hard. I could do CL. CL is much later in the alphabet than CE. But if we get a green C, we might have enough information to close out. So I'm not too worried about that. The chances of it starting with C are pretty low, but... what would we do here? CL what? Because we don't want to put O after that. I actually can't think of anything that would use an O. We probably want it here. I actually can't think of anything. Maybe there is something, but... Okay, so not CL. Maybe cello is the best guess then. We could also gamble and start with like a D or even an E, but I worry about that. I think cello is better than starting with something later than C. What about condo? We know there's an O, so I don't mind repeating a letter if we know there's at least one. And O it's pretty popular for O to show up twice. I think there's a better way to put that, but condo is nice for that. I think L is better than D, but N is good. Okay, I've convinced myself. Let's do condo and see what happens. All right, so there's an O second, and there's no C. All right, and we've used up the C and the D. That's actually kind of nice that we're kind of progressing the alphabet. We don't want to start with E, so maybe we should start looking for a word that starts with F here. There's only one O. That's actually really good to know. What could start with F? I guess folly? There's that double L again. I think foily might be a word. And if it is, I think that works out very well. So let's give that a guess. Oh, it's not. Doily's a word, but I guess foily's not. I thought it might be. Folly is definitely a word. It would be nice to get more letters, but... Foggy is also a word, but I like folly better than foggy. L is much better. Can I get an S, maybe? Alright, I think I will go with folly, because there are a lot of ollie words as well. So let's give that a try. Wait! Wait a minute! I got it in 3? Wow. I will be very surprised if Scott beats my 3, but I could see Scott getting it in 3 as well. Going by a similar process wherein, you know, it's early enough in the alphabet that seems possible. But I think I definitely won the challenge. Abort, condo, folly, go in that order in the dictionary. Got it in 3. It would have been, if this is a tie, I may be in trouble because I just have a score of, ignoring this, I'd have a score of 3. So this would be what? This would be 13, which is pretty low. But yeah, I think my odds are pretty good here. So we'll have to watch Scott's video and find out. But that's awesome. This was fun. So stay tuned for tomorrow to see what tomorrow's challenge is. And definitely go check out Scott's video as well. And if you enjoyed this content, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.